Hi everyone, welcome to another episode. In this one, we review the Rings of Power episode 4 called The Great Wave. Quite a bit happened actually, right Sham? Compared to the previous episode, which is the filler episode. In this one, main storyline, which I think is the Galadriel storyline, has quite a bit of movement. We see the beginning where the Queen Regent and Galadriel don't really get along because the Queen Regent's scared the Numenor falling. She thinks that's because of Galadriel. So they have a bit of a... I say a bit of a fight, but Galadriel's... a
feisty one. She's a bit of a Karen.
She's a bit of a Karen, right?
I want to speak to your manager.
Yeah. That's exactly what she says. She's like, I want to speak to your manager. And she's like, I'm the manager. I'm the manager at the moment. I'm the on-floor manager at the moment. That's what she says. Through various bits in the episode, from the seeing stone and seeing the king who's obviously fallen, we see the queen finally adhere to Galadriel's request, which is, can you please help us fight the evils that are in the Southlands? I mean, really, she does it because of some petals that fall from a tree. That's the main reason she does it. But rather than Galadriel convincing her, so I don't quite believe she did it because of Galadriel. She done it because of the tree.
Yeah, I think because the thing is, obviously in the beginning, the vision that she has, the opening scene, the visions that she has is like a mother's PTA meeting, and then the petals kind of fly in, and then the tree is meant to symbolize kind of like something's wrong or something's happening. It shouldn't wilt regardless of season or anything like that. It shouldn't wilt or anything.
It's a magic tree.
It's like a magic tree. It's kind of like a magic tree. And then basically, as she realizes that Galadriel is just angry Galadriel, she just basically says, okay, you know what, I'm going to let you go back to Middle Earth or whatever, and the tree starts falling,
wilting.
So she sees it as...
She's basically like, I'm okay, and nothing's going to happen, but you need to leave because this isn't your home, this is my home, get out of my house. And then all of a sudden, she's petals are falling, she's like, it like really quickly turned like that. So that was an interesting part of the episode. Second bit in the episode, we see Ada, Arondir, and Theo, which is the Sauron / Hilt of the Sword / Orc Camp episode. We see a brooding and quiet Ada, who we get to see for the first time, who's in charge of the Orc Camp, disillusioned with the elves. Don't know why, because the episode doesn't want to tell us that. Essentially in the last episode, kill 3 elves, but let this guy go.
I think it's because he realizes that he's obviously a lot not stronger, but he's fighting for what he believes in, and it's kind of like it is a bit of a disillusional. It's like, okay, let him go, and then we'll let him be the bearer of bad news. It's almost, I wouldn't say he's kind of seducing him, but it's more like, I'm gonna basically set you free so you can be the person who tells these people, but at the same time kind of woo him into joining him, like do my bidding basically.
Except there's no wooing whatsoever. He's just like, alright, I'm gonna let you go over there and you speak to the people in the tower. Also go to this town and tell these people to bow to us or we're gonna kill him. You got that? You got all of that? Okay. Okay, bye.
We'll see you later. Okay.
We'll see you later. Okay, we'll see you later. And then we see the Theo portion of the episode, the little boy who stole the hilt of a sword from the cellar of a barn, and succumb to its powers in a sense. Create a lightsaber that activates from blood.
It's kind of like a Spider-Man lightsaber kind of thing. It kind of flows. It's just like
oh, it's like that. He does that, and then the sword comes out. And we see the town that's suffering because it's starving, because they've obviously fled from them town. And we see him sort of try and help that town by going to that tavern and bring food. Gets into a bit of a orc kerfuffle, and Arondir saves him. So that was that portion of the show, and then we finally see the Elrond Durin portion of the show, which for me, which is the most interesting, where Durin's left the construction of the tower. Don't know why. Elrond's gone to find him. He finds that he's being quite secretive. You can tell when his wife, coy. You can tell when his wife's lying, and he finds out that they're mining in the Mirrormere mines for a substance whose name we've heard before, which is
Mithril.
Yeah, which is from the vest that Frodo was. Who gave Frodo that vest?
Bilbo.
Oh, Bilbo got it. Where did Bilbo get it?
From Moria.
No,
sorry. The King Under the Mountain. Oh my God, I'm gonna butcher this name now. Basically, Thorin gave him the vest.
Yeah,
as a thank you for helping. Yeah, a thank you for helping him take over the Lonely Mountain.
So we see the Mithril ore in this episode.
We see.
And Elrond doesn't really. I mean, he's a true friend. He's not going to out Durin.
No.
Or as we're led to believe, as he tells Durin in the episode. And at the end, Durin has a talk with the king, his father, and we find out that Durin doesn't really trust Elrond. They don't have a two-way friendship in that sense.
It's he doesn't. Obviously, because the storyline's been altered, it's meant to be Celebrimbor that is friends with Durin. But in this one, what he does, he doesn't trust the elves. He trusts Elrond in this, but he doesn't trust Celebrimbor. And then, I mean, it's although they've altered the storyline, they do kind of say that because he's like, I don't trust the elves in how they might use this.
Gotcha.
So if they found out about Mithril.
They might use it to make weapons to use against us. So they're very cautious. Very
cautious, yeah.
I wouldn't say cautious. They're more like paranoid. It's almost paranoia.
Yeah. It's kind of like, because the thing is, it becomes the main reason. It's the rise and fall of Khazad-dûm, because they start this massive mithril production.
Yeah.
Because they believe it's priceless. Basically, it's basically like vibranium. It's so light, but so strong at the same time.
And they happen to unfortunately dig too deep and unleash Charizard.
Yeah. The Balrog.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, exactly. There are quite a few good bits of the show. What were your favourite moments, or what were the good bits about the show, the episode that you liked?
I like the whole episode. I like the fact that they've not had this as a filler. They've actually progressed with the story. They did show quite a lot in Khazad-dûm, which was nice, because we see the fun side of the dwarfs in some of the other episodes where they break the rocks, and so it was nice to see that storyline kind of progress a lot further than previously. I'm glad that there wasn't any half-foots in this.
So I agree with you. This wasn't one of my pros for this show was this episode. I keep saying show. This episode was that it wasn't a filler episode. We saw movement in the Galadriel questline. We saw movement in the Theo storyline. I said questline before. I meant storyline. Where the hilt, the kid's not. You see the kid changing with the hilt. He's got a mark on his arm now. Yeah, like the other guy that sat him down at the end of the episode, who's Bon. He nicked the sword from. Yeah. Almost like a sympathizer of the evil. It's like the mark of Sauron. Basically, it looks like that. Okay. But I'd say that the other good bit for me, which I don't know if I mentioned before, is we saw a callback to the nostalgic moments of the movies from past, and maybe people who read the books as well, from the mention, and we get to see mithril ore in that, and we get to see Palantir, the Seeing Stones. We're like, I remember that when it was Pippin. Saruman is using it, and then you see Pippin, Fool of a Took, pick it up, and then he
makes Sauron believe that he's the ring bearer and
Right.
not Frodo.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah. So, yeah, the Seeing Stones. I think there's like 7 or 8 of them, but they all go missing over the age, and there's only a few there.
What were your cons of the show? What didn't you like about it? Keep on saying show. Cons of the episode. Sorry, what are your cons of the episode?
I have actually. I've put the lore aside for this because I realised in the last episode I went on a bit of a bender about the rant. So I've watched this as someone who hasn't read it, and and my con is I wish that the going to war element of it, I wish they had kept that original, because it is actually Hellbrand that unites. He kind of prompts Numenor.
You're not happy that they moved it to Galadriel being the one that.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been nice to see. I mean, you do see him at the end where he's standing there, and he does go to Middle Earth because he does go to the mainland because he goes with the armies basically. But the original story is he's the one that persuades the king to go to raise this army and then go and help the elves basically. Yeah. So it would have been nice from him to do that. They didn't do that. That's not a biggie. The introduction of pointless characters again, the Chancellor's son and the fake sister. I already forgot his name. Exactly. It's like you're not going to remember him in. Yeah, I hope they don't. I hope they don't make that something, because there's no child that they're going to bear that's going to have any sort of importance anywhere in the world. Like, it's not, unless they show the fall of Numenor and Isildur goes crazy because his fake sister, who's not even in the book, she dies.
Could be. You never know.
You know. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, it was quite an informative episode. It moved a little bit faster.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree.
I don't really have any major cons. Those are the only two.
I don't think I had any major ones, but I one of the cons for me, which was one of the pros for you, would be no mention of the Harfoots and fake Gandalf. Which, in fact, I would have, rather than seeing the Harfoots, because I see them as filler characters in the show, because I don't think any of them is a main character, but I would like to have seen a continuation of fake Gandalf's storyline, to see him remember something more, or speak, or do something that would move his character further along, which we didn't.
I think they had to make a decision with this one, because the hilt story is a little bit more important, but they literally, like, kid found a sword, his blood flows. They show the scene where it's like the Spider-Man thing, his blood kind of flows into the blade and it starts extending. And then they were like, here are some Harfoots with a stranger that they found where an asteroid shot him out. So it's like, you kind of like, hang on, that's more important, because that sword is going to be something. There's a reason that they're enslaving people, and so they had to. I think they felt like they had to make a decision. It's like, okay, we need to carry on with this story. You can't just leave it there and, you know, squeeze it in at the end and be like, Sauron's blade.
I suppose we'll probably get at that in the next one. You explained one of the cons, which is that it took the Queen. Took the Queen seeing some petals falling to decide the entire fate of the land of Numenor. And the last one, I'd probably say we didn't see any movement in Adar's storyline. Even though it's the first time we see him, I would have liked to see him discuss or explain to Arondir more about why he's so disillusioned, rather than a lot of quiet moments. But I assume in the next episode, or the upcoming episode, we will see more of focus on fake Gandalf. We will see more bits about preparing for war, Numenor preparing for war. So we'll see a lot more Isildur moments, a lot more. What's his father's name again?
Elendi.
Yeah, more of his moments, and hopefully no Chancellor's son moments. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on the episode, whether you liked it or not, which bits did you like and which bits you didn't. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. But other than that, please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Yeah.